G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of my SC24 Chelsea Career Mode series. Crystal Palace was the task this week, and for those who saw my instant match reaction that I posted on my social media, you will know that I was happy that we got the 3 points, but I was not exactly impressed with our performance overall, and it left a lot to be desired. And as we go into Crystal Palace in this game, we will unfortunately have to make a lot of changes to our starting 11 because the trip to Wolves a couple days earlier, where we were able to pick up a 0-0 victory, which made up for the fact that we lost in real life in severely disappointing fashion. But yes, as you can see here, lots of players are going to have to get rotated. So I'm going to put Cole Palmer on the right, who can play in that position. I'm going to take Nkunku out and bring in Carney Chukwuemeka, as the game does not switch the right player. Raheem Sterling is going to come in on the left, and Disasi is also going to come out for Trevor Chalobah, who has a lot of fitness and a lot of sharpness to his advantage. And the man who also got some headlines in that Crystal Palace game in real life was this man, Malo Gusto, and he's also going to come into the team and hopefully do a job for us because he was, yes, definitely catching the eye, having returned from injury himself. And Nicholas Jackson, who picked up headlines again for all the wrong reasons, will be getting more minutes in this game here. So without further ado, let's jump in. The first topic being Conor Gallagher. He is a player that I feel like has improved the most so far this season under Pochettino. You know, obviously the part of a manager and a coach is to get these players not only functioning in a team with the tactics, but also improve them as individual players. And so far this season, I feel like Mudryk has slightly improved. I feel like Caicedo, he's still not quite getting to the levels that we know that he can. And Nicholas Jackson, I feel, has actually got worse and is, you know, sort of downgrading himself from what we saw in pre-season and early on against the likes of Liverpool, etc. But Conor Gallagher, for someone who, in my opinion, has very little sex appeal in the sense that he's not a flair dribbler, he doesn't get into the box and score lots of goals, but he's just a very versatile utility player that can be the engine in midfield and show that Chelsea spirit that we love so very much. And we definitely saw that with Gilchrist, Alfie Gilchrist, who made a slight cameo in real life as well, which was great to see. And Cole Palmer getting an early opportunity in the box there. Unfortunately, on his right foot, his weaker side, he's not able to cook up anything of value. He cuts inside here to Nicholas Jackson, who utilises that acceleration, but his dribbling is not good enough and he's not able to drag the ball back and keep it in play. But it was great to see Christopher Nkunku get some more minutes under his belt, actually getting a starting 11 position this time. Lavia also got some minutes, which I think might be a bit of a detriment because he's picked up some more injuries, I think, with his thigh. Pochettino's going to assess that in the week as Sterling gets a header on the penalty spot, Johnston denying him. And we get our first opportunity from a corner this time. Can we get someone on the head of it? No. Carney Chukwuemeka, someone who's tall, should probably be in the box, not in that position. Can Jackson get it? No. We're going to sustain pressure here, and Chukwuemeka gets it pinched off him. Well in, Cucurella. He's performed so very well in this career mode series.
Could play it in. Well, after pressing, maybe the short route to goal.
Oh no, a mistake. Oh, and Sanchez with an awful save. Didn't get down to it very well. And is almost saving it whilst it's behind his body. Not ideal, giving away a corner to the deadly Elise, who picked up a very sweet goal in game, in real life. Levi Colwell, who is played at left back once again by Pochettino. Some people think it's a bizarre choice, but I think he's not been that bad. It does seem a bit perplexing given the fact that we've got Ian Matson at our disposal and he's not playing in that position now that Cucurella and Chilwell are out injured. But Colwell, I think if we're going to, help him develop and get better and improve as an individual, he needs minutes. And I don't feel like he's ahead of Badiashile or Disasi or definitely Thiago Silva in that centre-back position. So a left-back is a solid left-back is a solid alternative. Sterling gets the goal. Beautiful strike. A great cutback on the edge of the box. And Raheem Sterling is able to guide it into that bottom left-hand corner. And the Crystal Palace defence were not good enough to be picking up their man. I don't know who it is in the centre there. Pink boots. Oh, sorry, pink socks. No, it was pink boots. My apologies. But yeah, Raheem Sterling, the number 7, the man who got suspended and wasn't able to feature in Crystal Palace, actually probably ended up being a good thing in a weird sense because it meant that Noni Madueke was able to feature at I think he came on the 70th minute or so, whatever it came on. But he was the one that made the difference in real life. And I really do hope that against Luton in a couple of days' time that Noni Madueke is able to find himself in the starting 11 because, in my opinion, him and Mudryk were the next generation, the two that were supposed to be taking us into future success in those wide attacking positions. And so far, Madueke has not quite been able to get the favour of Pochettino. He obviously has had injuries to deal with, and that's a pass that gets intercepted. But hopefully now the trust is slowly being instilled in Pochettino, because I know they have a bit of a past going back to Spurs, both Madueke and Pochettino. Hopefully it's not playing any major impact in the reasoning as to why. But basically Pochettino said in his post-match press conference that, you've got to have the attitude and the desire and the hunger and the quality to play at the highest level. And for obvious reasons, I think he hasn't quite had that. Let's get another ball in. Raheem Sterling gets a volley, almost scoring a goal in very similar fashion to how he did the first time around. But that time it was on his left foot and he was not able to direct it into the back of the net. But I think if we can slowly build our momentum at home, because it's essential that you're winning your home games in the Premier League if you want to have a decent run and climb up the table. And 2023 has been an awful year in that sense because we have not been able to. Raheem Sterling again. Wow, what a save. Probably should have done better with the shot, putting it into the roof of the net. But 2023 has been an awful year for the Chelsea Football Club. Badiashile, good powerful header. And we have not made Stamford Bridge a fortress. And going into the new year, I think we've gone 6 games in a row at home where we haven't lost. So if we can continue that, as we're really piling on the pressure from these corners, hopefully it's a sign of things to come because it's essential. Like, yes, when you're on the road, I don't expect us to always be at our very best. And if we get a draw or a loss, so be it. But you have to be winning your home games. That's just borderline unacceptable when it doesn't happen, especially for a team of our quality. Oh, very intricate build-up play there. Unfortunately, Enzo didn't have enough time and space to complete the spin and get the shot off. And Gusto has plenty of pace behind him, but he doesn't have enough strength to defeat the Crystal Palace attacker in a one-on-one. And Enzo is also there to help clean up in defence. And now a corner is conceded at the opposite end. Elise. Not a great clearance by Jackson. Cucurella, he's able to get rid of it. Beautiful stuff. Halftime whistle goes. The other thing that I want to mention is that I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans on Twitter criticise Pochettino for his team selection in the sense that it's bizarre that he's playing Maatsen at right wing and Colwell at left back. In terms of Maatsen, I think he is a utility player and he is able to play in lots of different positions. He can play left back, which he did on loan at Burnley. He can play left wing, right wing, which he did in pre-season. So I don't criticise Pochettino in the sense that he's playing Maatsen in that position. It's more so that he's getting into the team ahead of Madueke that I find concerning personally. But, Terrible build-up play. Probably should have put Cucurella in behind straight away. Now he's caught out of position and Badiashile is having to mop up the mess for him. And Sanchez. Oh, wow. But yeah, coming to the end of 2023 and a very congested December period, I feel like if we can bypass Luton in a comfortable fashion, even though they did just win against Sheffield in a must-win game for them in terms of their relegation battle, if we can get past them and go into 2024 in good spirits and hopefully getting some momentum rolling, I think that'll do us wonders in terms of confidence, because we've been so inconsistent. Getting some really solid wins like against Newcastle, but then, you know, having embarrassing defeats against Wolves. We're just so up and down, and the lack of consistency is obviously, it's painful, but it's to be expected with such a young squad. And the team that Pochettino fielded against Crystal Palace was like the 8th youngest, you know, starting 11 in the Premier League of all time, which is a crazy statistic. And when Thiago Silva came off the bench to participate at around the 55th minute, you could just tell the calm, composure, and experience that he brings to this team. It was instantly noticeable. And yes, Thiago Silva's not perfect. Yes, he makes some mistakes, but he is so valuable to this team. And I feel like if he is fit and healthy at the end of this season, we have to extend his contract by another year, as Crystal Palace's Nathaniel Klein picks up a red card, hopefully making the rest of this game a lot easier for us. But it was, very telling, I think, when we, you know, score a goal in the first half and get ourselves into a favourable position, and then when we just get complacent and take our foot off the gas and just allow Crystal Palace back into the game. And Pochettino could sense it coming, and it came just before halftime with that Elise equaliser. And speaking of goals, we've got our second, which gives us that breathing space, thanks to Cole Palmer. The 10-man Crystal Palace were not able to cope with that defensive opportunity, and Palmer just receives the ball perfectly from Gusto, who's able to glide past, and the finesse shot easily bypasses the goalkeeper, and we go 2-0 up at Stamford Bridge.
Let's hear all about it from Alex Scott.
And it's a goal for Wolves. It was a nice 1-2, and then a composed finish as he rounded the goalkeeper. They've pulled one back with 8.
Can Gusto get there? Oh, just intercepted by Anderson there. A great run in behind. I'm so glad that we've got Gusto as a backup right back to Reece James. Him being on the sidelines for such extended periods is obviously such a huge pain, but him, like, he's like 19 or 20 years old and he's already looking, you know, really steady and composed on the football, as Palmer, who's clearly fatigued, just walks out of play. Just simply not good enough. But yeah, I was so impressed with his performance, you know, getting up and down the right back flank, you know, contributing in attack. That goal that he set up for Mudryk was absolutely phenomenal. The turn, the spin, the composure when he got the ball back on the left flank, just all of it was so good. And it was a pretty lame cross there by Gallagher. Can Lavia get a shot off? It is going to also roll out for a goal kick. For a corner. Let's get a cross in here with Sterling. Can we pick up a third before the full-time whistle? Another block. And unfortunately, the attack breaks down. I think 2-0 is going to be the final result. Thankfully, we're able to pick up a 3 points here. That is so vital in terms of our season. And Pochettino, I'm still in his park. I think we have to trust him and continue with him. I know some people are getting very close. They're teetering on the edge of Pochettino out. But I think if we're realistic, it's not all his fault. Yes, you can question the tactics and the teams that he sends out. But with so many injuries and so many things going on at the club, I feel like all we need is just to get players back from injury, get them fit, settle our nerves, and just continue to grind away on the training pitch. Because, yes, we've had a busy December period, and it's been very congested, but there's really no excuse for the Chelsea Football Club to not be getting 3 points on a more consistent basis. But going away from home to Luton in our next game, it's essential that we're picking up another 3 points to conclude our 2023, which has been very dismal. We are stuck in mid-table, but hopefully we can end the year on a high. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I'll catch you in the next one. Come on, you Blues.
It's alright.